Rachel Pappy is a partner and vice president of Polston Tax Resolution and Accounting. And we all have heard taxes. We got to get ready for the big day of April 15th. But she's here to tell us it's not necessarily that day that we have to worry about. We just got to make sure we get them done. Is that correct?
That's right. So this year you've got a little bit of extra time because the deadline date is April 17th. April 15th falls on the weekend, and then there's a federal holiday. So everyone gets to file on April 17th. Don't put it off because you know that you have a few extra days. Get it done. You want to file timely, and if you don't prepare it by April 17th, filing deadline means it has to be in the mail, postmarked by April 17th. If you don't have it in the mail postmarked, file an extension by April 17th, and if you file the extension form, you have to include a check for as much as you owed last year or an estimate of what you're going to owe this year.
Okay. There's a lot of people that think, well, I'm going to have to pay. I am going to wait to the last day, last minute. Is that the best option to do, or is it at least to let them know, hey, look, I know owe some money. Let's say they don't have the money.
Right. Yes. So a problem that we see a lot is people waiting to file their return until the very last minute and getting the return prepared by April 17th, April 15th, and seeing, oh my gosh, I owe whatever X amount of money and I don't have that amount. What should I do? Should I not file the return? Should I file the return but not pay it? So a couple things. One, not filing a return is criminal, but if you can't file it on April 17th this year, file an extension. Many people have to file an extension to maybe save the money to pay it in full. That deadline is going to be in October. But remember, when you file that extension, you do have to send an estimate with that extension. So make sure you send a check of some amount, an estimate with the extension, even if you can't pay it all.
There's always forms for everything with the government.
Yes.
So I'd imagine it's just a form, or it's not like a note, hey, I'm going to pay off the rest.
Yeah, exactly. The IRS has an extension form. It's not just you can't just handwrite a note. You need to file, and they want to know your social security number, your address, your name, if there's anyone else on the return, what the amount is you're enclosing, all of that.
There's lots of people that go through different situations in their life. We have some people going through bankruptcy, maybe going through a divorce. Is it a good time for them to file, or is there another form for that?
Yeah, that's a question we get a lot. I have a client right now who's in the middle of a divorce. It's a contentious divorce, and the deadline is approaching. She's not sure, since we're in the middle of a divorce, do we file the return? Can we file the return? Can we file a married filing joint? I explained to her that you're welcome to still file married filing joint. Even though you're in the middle of a divorce, you're still married. Married filing joint would be a lower tax bracket than filing single, and she can't file single yet because she's not single.
She's not right.
But she could file married filing separate, which is the same tax bracket more or less as single.
Okay.
In this specific client's instance, she's not sure if her spouse previously filed the tax returns and he was the one who had been responsible. So I said, in that scenario, since you're just not sure entirely, you may file married filing separate, because if there is some joint liability from prior year returns, you don't want to compound it by filing another return right now. Go ahead and file married filing separate. You may owe a little more because of the tax bracket, but at least you're not getting in more hot water since you don't know what happened with the back years.
Are there penalties if you file and let's say you had something wrong, a number wrong or whatever? Are there penalties even if you filed after April 15th?
Yes. So if you file your return and you fail to include information, the IRS is going to have an assessment against you, a notice of deficiency for failure to report that. And you'll have penalties associated with failure to report, and then there's going to be interest tacked on to the penalties. So it can add up. There's also penalty abatements if it's an innocent mistake and you can show a good reason why that error occurred. Maybe it was a one-time job that you forgot about. You didn't get a 1099 for it. If it's the first time you've made that kind of mistake, there's ways to get that abated.
All right, and that's why you make sure you go with the tax professionals, because they'll look over that once, twice, 3 times, dot all the I's and cross all the T's. Polston Tax Resolution and Accounting does just that. They have 5 locations in Oklahoma City, Edmond, Norman, Tulsa, and Wichita. You can call them at 405-801-2146. They also assist clients nationwide. Several ways to get a hold of, in contact with Polston Tax and Resolution and Accounting. You can look for them on social media just for Polston Tax. Their website is polstontax.com.